Hey team, how you doing? Okay, I have some updates for you, and this may make some things easier and allow you to go ahead and move from task to task without me having to stop and assign it. So I'm going to I'm going to go back and look at the flow of tasks that I give you so that once you guys are done with one, you can actually move on to the next one without waiting for me to assign it. Because I noticed that when I was checking some things over this week, I kind of dropped the ball and did not give you a task on some of the clients, which you guys could totally have been doing. So I don't want to slow things up. So I'll try to make this one quick. So you guys know all these steps already. So none of that will be new. I just want to continually give you more information about some of the documents and some of the processes that the agents go through, so that way you understand it better, and then I think it'll help you when you're running into questions. You'll be able to figure it out, and then of course, as always, if you have questions, ask me. So one of the first things, as you know, that I give you to do is to go on to Zillow and pull up all the past listings for the client. As I said, this is a place that we can kind of start to make sure that everything that they have been doing in their business is documented, so they have a good track record. One thing that I started asking the agents for is a list of their closed sales. So that's going to help us compare what's on this website here, Zillow, with what they have actually closed. And then we can go ahead and, update this and add anything here that is missing. Some agents are really good about putting them on here. Some of them not so much because they get busy. So that's the first thing. And again, the added thing is I've asked the agents to supply us with a list of their closed listings. I'm also going to see if I can get a list with the names of the buyers and the sellers. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. So for now, you'll start to see some lists coming from the agents that we can compare with this. So coming back to here, let me just give you a little bit of background. So our clients are Keller Williams agents. Some of them are individual agents. They work all by themselves. Some of them are part of a team. So occasionally we're going to run into some clients that will have our main client, and then you might see some other names for other agents that work with their team. And I'll try to point those out when they come, when those happen. So when you're looking at the contracts, mostly you're going to basically see most of the time two agents. You're going to see an agent that represented a buyer and an agent represented the seller. Sometimes they're different agents. Sometimes it's the same agent. It'll be our client that represented both the buyer and the seller. And sometimes we might get two Keller Williams agents, but only one of them is our client. So, that's why when I give you that task, I will tell you which Keller Williams office our agent works with, and the address. Because if you get two Keller Williams agents that are working at different offices or even the same office, I want you to be able to see which one is our client. This becomes important because the person that our client is representing will be in their database. The other person, the one that our client is not representing, won't be in their database. So that's why in some of these, when you're seeing them, you're only seeing one person, like the buyer or the seller, but you're not seeing both. It's because the person that our client represented is the one that should be in their database, not the other one. And I explain that more in a video that'll show you how this is. Now this is going to be in Drive, and so you'll always have access to it, and it has the links on it to the tutorial videos. Okay, so so that's our clients. Now what's Command? So Command's the CRM tool. And I told you this. It's eventually going to do a lot of different things, but for now, we're basically concentrating on contacts, opportunities, and smart plans. And these are the 3 areas that you guys have been doing a lot of work in, and I appreciate it, and so do the clients. These are the icons that you see on the left-hand side, and then these screens should look familiar. So breaking it down, these are the 3 basic things that we're concentrating on right now. Yes, we're doing some social graphics and stuff too, but for command, these are the 3 parts. Next, what's the first thing we do? So this is what I was talking about. Zillow, and then we'll get reports from the agents. The first thing we want to make sure of is that we have all the addresses for all the closed transactions from these 2 in here. So we'll pull Zillow first, and then you can compare it to the reports that the agent gives us. If there's anything missing, just add a line there and put in what's missing. That part's really simple. And then I think if we work off this spreadsheet, like I said before, it'll be a lot easier. So what do we do with the spreadsheet? There's several things. We confirm that the transaction was claimed in Zillow, meaning if it's on that list, it's also on Zillow. We add the name of the buyer, the seller, and the transaction. We're going to add that to that spreadsheet. That's found in .loop. We record the agent, who our agent represented. That's found in .loop. And we record the, and sometimes it's found in the agent's report as well. And then we record the closing date for the transaction, which is found in .loop. And then I'm also going to add in here that you can add the other information that you'll need for the opportunities on this spreadsheet as well, and I'll show you how I updated that. Now this is up to you. If it makes sense for you to do it this way, putting more information on that spreadsheet, then go ahead and do that. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. And then confirming the opportunity was added to command, confirming the documents were added to the opportunity, and confirming that home anniversary date was added to the contacts. This is everything that you guys have already done. Now I've updated the spreadsheet. Here's the link here. It's in the drive, and I'll show you how I updated it in just a moment. Next is what is .loop. So you guys know this. This is that digital signature tool most people used up until the end of 2019. So when you're doing opportunities, anything kind of towards the end of 2019 might already be in command. Might. So just kind of keep that in mind. So the next thing is, how do you read the contracts in .loop? Now here's where I did some kind of quick videos. So if you ever get stuck on one part, you can go back and you can find the video right away. So these are the 3 main documents you're going to look at: the closing statement, the offer to purchase, and the DA. Most of the time you're going to get most of your information from the closing statement or the DA. Those are kind of the shortest, and they usually have the information all up front. When you're not seeing something, go to the offer to purchase. So that's kind of how I would look at that. Now here I did this for you. This is actually a tutorial video. This goes in depth into the closing statement, and I've got 2 different versions in there, so they look different. But you'll notice that after you see a few closing statements, the words are going to start to look similar. So we've got one for the closing statement. I got another here for the offer to purchase. Again, there's a tutorial right there. You can go ahead and click that. And then the final thing is that DA. And again, this is a really short document, but it has some information up there. So then once we have this spreadsheet filled out, what do you do with it? So you document the Zillow sales. We I think this is the last one here. So, so with the spreadsheet, document the sales. We make sure they're in Zillow. You guys have been doing a great job copying the testimonials and creating graphics. We add the closed sales from the list that the agent gives us. So we're going to add those closed sales to the spreadsheet. Review documents and add all the information that you'll need to create opportunities, create the opportunities, and do the home anniversary. So all of this stuff can be done right off the bat. So you guys don't have to wait for me to assign each thing, okay? So, and then I copied the original instructions here for the opportunities. It's also in the task that's in Asana, but if you needed it here as well, there's a quick, simple link. So here's what I did, and now this might be easier because of this reason. If one of you is really comfortable looking at the documents, then you can go ahead and start looking at the documents and pulling the information. So these rows or columns here, and if I missed any categories, just go ahead and add them. This information that you can pull from those documents in .loop are what you would need when you get to the point where you're creating opportunities in Command, those transactions. That's the information that it's going to ask you when you're creating those opportunities. So if somebody on the team is really comfortable with looking at the documents and getting that information, they can be working strictly on that, okay? The other thing is if you have somebody that just wants to go in and do the Zillow ones, you can do that right here in these first couple ones here, right? So that's really simple. So somebody could be doing that. Somebody else could be doing that, the .loop stuff. And then as we have those home anniversaries, you can be adding those into the contact in Command. So however you guys want to divvy it up, that's fine. You guys just know the end result is we want to get through these. So I will give you the link to this here if you want to take a quick look-see at it with the video links there. And then once again, I just wanted to remind you that they moved this. So before we were looking at a different screen of where the opportunities were. And let me see if I can find one really quick. So it used to be when we went to opportunities, we were just looking at this this dashboard view here and seeing what was closed kind of in this section, but they moved it. So now all the opportunities will be here. So it is possible, and this you can change this to seeing 75 at a time, and then either go by the close date so you can see what has already been entered, or you can go by the phase to pull up all the stuff that is under contract or excuse me, closed. So that way, check here first before you create any new opportunities, because the agents now are starting to put some stuff in opportunities and we don't want to put in duplicates. So always check here first before you create a new opportunity from our spreadsheet. So I hope that makes sense. And once again, there's a copy of the thing. And, if this makes sense to pull these and put it on the spreadsheet so that when you're working or when you're adding the opportunity, all you have to do is look at the spreadsheet and pull all the information from here rather than going back and forth with the document. So if that works better for you, go ahead and do it that way. If you're comfortable doing it the old way, by all means, do it the old way. But I just thought this might be helpful. Let me know. That's it for now. Thanks a lot. You guys are being very helpful. I appreciate it. And I am going to that conference in the middle of February. So hopefully I can pick up a couple more clients while I'm there. And in the meantime, as always, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.